Morning, folks. Just get Facebook aboard and then we'll go on. Hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, I had a busy weekend. A very busy weekend, but it wasn't a bad weekend. Right, that's Facebook on board. Now, thanks to assistance from WoofPet and Clackmannanshire councillor, Jean Taggart, we've managed to get in touch with the Alva food larder. The gate and Alva has still not got back to me. I'll give them until tomorrow morning. And Councillor Taggart, Jean Taggart, has actually sent me details of another organisation via WoofPet in the area. So if I don't hear back for the gate today, I will be I'll be moving on to this next organisation in the area. So good stuff. It means we are going to get the funds out to the Clackmannanshire area, which is progress. It's very difficult to try and keep money away, folks. You have no idea. Everybody thinks it's a scam. And having the good councillor allowing me to use her name to verify that it isn't a scam in her area will help. Maybe have to go down that road as we travel on. Maybe I'll contact SNP councillors in the area we want to do first and get them on board to give us a hand. That might be a good idea. And I see Facebook's on board. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Doug. And we'll get quite a few in at the moment. We're on 97. So we'll get this underway in a second. Hi, Andy Scott Brown. Hi, Eddie Wolfie. Right then. So let's get this underway, shall we? Newspaper review on the 17th of the 3rd, 2025. I'm Andy Two Davies. I'm out the truck. I'm at home in my office in Salford, North Lanarkshire, where it is no bad morning, clearing up, 7 degrees, reasonably warm. No bad for this time of year. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Where are you? Are you in Germany or are you in Spain? Let us know in the comments. Right. First up this morning. Oh, sorry. That's the weather where I am. If you want to know what the weather's like with you, or look at your own bloody windy. Right. First up this morning, we've got the Times. I'll put it up. There's only 3 papers I'm not putting up today. So we'll get on with this. And the Times has deadline looms for asylum appeals as backlog balloons by 485%. I guess the deadline will be extended then, won't it? It's the only logical thing to do. The other byline there is British troops could be kept in Ukraine for years to come. Well, they did occupy Germany for many, many years after the Second World War. And the main headline, Labour's war of words on disability benefits. I'll pull that up a minute to see what the second line says. Streeting says medics sign off too many staff. But Burnham warns cuts will trap claimants in poverty. The West Streeting has said that doctors are diagnosing too many people with mental health problems. And Andy Burnham is correct. Any cuts anywhere in the benefit system will drive people deeper into poverty. And things are bad enough. Things are bad enough. Next up this morning, we have the Eye. We'll put it up. Well, we're on a roll today. And Eye has Labour disability benefit cuts. Rebellion grows despite Numbers 10's concessions. And it would appear that Starmer's come up against the right challenge here when it comes to this, because Labour MPs can't stomach having to face their constituents in the event that they hammer the poorest, punch down on the least of us, which seems to be the trend in Westminster. voted for change, they didn't get any. They did not get change. They got more of the same. Unfortunately, that just seems to be the way it is. Right, next up with a national, so let's go for it, see if we can stay on this roll. Yo! And the national has comment what is and isn't fascism. So they want you to tell them what you think fascism is. Apparently 90 people were denied entry to a football game yesterday after refusing to be searched. And Stephen Flynn calls on the Labour Party to dump your Tory spending rules. Flynn called ahead of Labour announcement on welfare reforms. Think tank warns of knock-on effect of Scotland's budget, or knock-on effect to Scotland's budget, I think that should say. And they also want you to comment here on the case for English independence on St Patrick's Day. Oh, so it is. It's St Patrick's Day. So if you're a religious person and you celebrate the saints' days, then this one's a big one. So I hope you enjoy your St Patrick's Day. And to your friends and viewers in Ireland, happy St Patrick's Day. Okie dokie, let's move on. Next up, we have the Metro, and we'll pop that one up as well. Although I shouldn't really put up this propaganda-free, circulated propaganda rag. Anyway, streeting docs overdiagnosing mental issues. So apparently, all your mental issues are imaginary. There you go. So you're not really mentally ill. It's just your doctor's being a wee bit overzealous. There you have it, folks. Man with no medical qualification tells medics what they're doing wrong. Fuck, you couldn't make it up. You could not make it up. It's a bit like the Atos carry on down that road, where non-qualified people decide whether you're ill or no. Now we've got Streeton telling us that he knows better than the medical profession. Par for the course. Par for the course. Next up, we have the Rancid. As you know, I don't put the Daily Record up, and the Rancid has Sarah Hoy opens her heart. We will not be victims. Champ's wife says health battles won't define them. I'm glad to hear that. It's a very hard time for both of them. He's been diagnosed with a cancer that's going to kill him, and she's been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and they've got 2 young children. I hope they'll help. Wish them the best for the future. I really do. I feel sorry for the kids at this point in time. They're very, very young, and they face an uncertain future. I suppose other kids in the UK face uncertain futures at this point in time, right enough. As we see what's left of the state being privatised, public services in ruins, especially in England. Here they're struggling, in England they're in ruins. And we have another austerity government going to cut more for the bone. Are you yes yet? Well, right, the right wing won't rag the Express has. Let's have a look. No, we won't. I didn't put it up, I remember now. And it has Sir Chris Hoy gives its brave wife of Sir Chris Hoy gives an exclusive interview on cancer and MS. Sarah opens up about double battles. As I say, I feel sorry for them. I really do. It's a very difficult time. And as I say, they've got very young children. And it would appear that they want to tell the story before he shuffles off. The story of the battle that they're going to face together as they move forward. Right, next up we have the Daily Fail. I'll stick it up. And it has Matheson joins great SNP exodus as he says he is looking for a new challenge. Minister shamed over iPad bill quits Holyrood. Just another one in the changing of the guards. And there's been a lot, folks. The SNP must be very, very busy trying to find candidates to fill the vacancies of these MSPs who have decided not to stand again. Some of whom have been in the Parliament for a very long time, like Matheson, and who have given great service to the public and to the nation. And we should be thanking them all as they exit stage left. And it doesn't matter what party it is. Whether we like it or not, some of these opposition MSPs, like some of the opposition MPs, are very good constituent MSPs. So, as the election comes up, we will see a lot of changes in the Parliament. The Parliament is now 25 years old. And that means some of the people like Nicola Sturgeon have spent most of their adult lives serving the people of Scotland. And as I say, as the Parliament matures, we've always expected a change of a guard in all the parties. In them all. Some of these MSPs are getting on a bit, time to retire. And as for Matheson, looking for a new challenge, I hope he finds one, but one thing's for sure, he's served in the Parliament long enough to not really need to worry about it. His pension will be enough to survive on. Right, let's move on. Next up, we have the Herald. Now, what's the Herald got for us today? Probably another Scotland shite story. Here we go. Warning of impact of new offence for sexual choking. A new offence? Well, I imagine that it would have come under the old Sexual Offence Act. But what people do in the privacy of their own bedroom, as long as they're not endangering each other, is nobody's business. But I suppose choking somebody during sex is endangering them. So, concerns over the new act, there's always concerns over new acts. In this case, the concern is actually coming from the government itself and Angela Constantine, the Justice Secretary. But it depends on who proposed the bill and how well it was written. Was it a necessary bill to be written? I doubt it very much. It would have probably been covered by the older acts. It'd probably come under violent sexual offence. But hey ho, apparently we're getting a new law to cover it. Sometimes I wonder if the MSPs have got enough to do on some of these laws that they're introducing when we already have laws on the statute book which cover such things. Righto, let's move on. The Scotsman goes on, a sports story. I'll put it up. Thanks, Stephen. And anybody else that's given us a super chat this morning, I haven't looked at the comment. Sorry about that. And the Scotsman has talks over 100-year lease of top Scottish golf course. Financiers could be in charge of prize asset until 22nd century. And this is the story that Carnoustie Golf Club is about to be taken over by hedge funds on a 100-year lease deal. I'm sure whoever the owner is will do well, and it'll be a lucrative 100-year lease deal for them anyway. And I've no doubt the hedge fund seems to think it can make money as well. So it could be a win-win for the community, a win-win for the owner, and a win-win for the hedge fund. Or it could be a fucking disaster. As the markets contract, as the cost of living crisis continues to squeeze, and people have less disposable income to go and spend in top-class golf clubs. Right, let's bring that down. Nearly there, folks. And what's the scum goat for us today? Well, I don't put the scum up. And it is a celebrity story. Danny's wife walks out. I can't take any Maura, whatever the fuck that's about. Maura. And to be fair, folks, I don't know what it's about. I had no incline to go and find out. I have very little interest in celebrity culture. In fact, let me rephrase that. I have no fucking interest in celebrity culture when the reality of my people, our people, is dire. And we have a continuation of the same economic illiterates running the show. It's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. So it is. It's a continuation of the same madness. Definition of madness: continue to do the same thing, expecting a different fucking outcome. It's just... John Swinney has to meet everyone as a First Minister of the whole country. June, I imagine you mean he's going to serve everyone. The chances of meeting 5.4 million people in person are pretty slim to fuck all. But hey, I get the sentiment. So, as I say, in the scum, another celebrity story. Next up, we have the Telegraph. What's it go for us today? Shall we have a wee look? The Telegraph has Phillipson under fire for bowing to unions. And this is an education story down that road. The education minister apparently has caved on some cuts, thanks to trade unions. And the byline, 4 in 10 Gen Z workers consider quitting to live on benefits. No, they fucking don't. That's a bollocks. I mean, who can survive on £90 a week? The notion that somebody's going to walk away from probably just about a living wage to live in fucking poverty is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I don't think that Gen Z are that stupid. Unless, of course, they've got parents who can support them. Because they certainly ain't living off benefits. That's no living. That's no even existing. Benefits are that low. It's no a form of existence. It's a form of survival. And only the fittest are surviving. And as the spring statement comes hurtling towards us, things are going to get worse, apparently. It makes the work that we do here in our community, our YouTube community, much more important. Much more important. Because, folks, the outlook's not great. It really isn't. I bet you know. Fucking costs £80, £90 a week for electricity and gas. This notion that kids are quitting work. Anyway, we have a declining employment market as well. Unemployment is up. And they're talking about trying to get people into jobs. What fucking jobs? We are rapidly heading back to the 1980s. We'll be back to the days of Yosser Hughes. We'll be back to the day of our young and fit having to leave and go work elsewhere. Nobody's as easy as it used to be when we were in the EU, where they could just pop over to Germany, like in a Wiedersehen pet, and work for there and send money home to keep their families. Ain't going to be that easy because of Brexit. Disastrous. So we're going to see a lot more Yosser Hughes going forward. And Yosser Hughes, if you think about that character, back in the day. I think it was the Boys in Black stuff. He is the embodiment of how this society has driven people to mental health problems, taking us back to Wes Streeting and his saying that doctors are overdiagnosing mental health problems. No, what doctors are doing are diagnosing the society which these fuckers have created. That's what doctors are doing. As I say, it ain't going to be an easy ride for these kids. It just ain't. So the idea that 4 out of 10 Gen Z employees are going to quit their jobs to live in benefits. No, the economy is shrinking that much that 4 out of 10 of them are going to have their arse slammed on the brew, whether they like it or no. And as I say, £93.78 a week, which was roughly where it was last time I looked. It isn't even survive. It's not even existing. It is surviving. Wow. Right, let's see if we can get something cheery out of the star this morning, shall we? Let's see what the stars got for us this morning. And this morning, the Daily Star has cracking weather. The sun has got its pat on. And of course, this is reference to St. Patrick's Day today. And apparently in the southeast, it'll get as high as 19 degrees. That's taps off stuff, folks. Taps off stuff. Hey, but it's also why our electricity prices should be cheaper than the electricity prices of those in the south of England. Because it ain't going to be fucking taps off here. It might get to what we consider to be warm, or 10, 11 degrees, but it certainly ain't getting to fucking taps off. Not this far north. Well, that's the start of the week, folks. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it informative. But I mean, there is some real nonsense in there. Like people voluntarily gone for existing to surviving. Because that's what the living wage is. It's a wage that you can subside on. You can just about make it on. Covering housing costs, covering food, covering clothing, covering the cost of running a household in general, including your energy supply, the cost of your internet connection. It's all going up. It's all going up. But wages are not keeping abreast of it. So the very notion that people are abandoning work to go for subsiding or just about making it or just about existing to surviving is fucking nuts. But of course, we come to expect a lot of nonsense in the press. So tomorrow morning, we'll be here to do it all again. Meantime, in this, David and I will be on this afternoon at 4 o'clock, where we'll discuss some of the bigger issues going on here in Scotland. Probably women's health and a few other things. And of course, we'll then move on to events in the wider world. And by Christ, they're interesting at the moment, aren't they? I mean, you know, there's the Times talking about UK troops in Ukraine for years to come as a peacekeeping force when Putin hasn't even agreed a peace yet. But I suppose to be prepared is the idea. Okay then, folks. Hit the like button, please, on your way out the door. Share if you want. See you this afternoon, 4 p.m. And tomorrow morning, 10:30. Don't be late. Or you're on the naughty step. Or there, or earlier, whatever it is.